Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. And our topic for discussion today is what are real estate investment trust, and we are also going to look at few more aspects about REITs. Okay, but before we begin our video, just giving you the general disclaimer: this is not an investment advice. Please do your due diligence before taking any investment decision. So talking about REITs or real estate investment trust, these are institutions which are created in the form of a trust, and they are responsible for creating real estate assets in various parts of the country. Now, what are real estate assets? It could be either residential or it could be commercial, all right? And these assets are given to various clients for long-term lease rentals, okay? So here is a real estate investment trust. What they are doing is they are constructing assets in various parts of the country, okay? And these assets are then given to people who are interested in having them for long-term leases, okay? And whatever is the money that is collected by giving these assets on leases, okay, it is distributed to the various unit holders of the trust, all right? So this concept is very similar to that of an asset management company or a mutual fund company, okay? So every AMC is registered as a trust, all right? And units are allocated to unit holders, and these units are nothing but they are like holdings or stocks for the unit holders, all right? So what is the structure of REITs in India? It is a very typical structure for a trust. Okay, there are three entities mainly. One is a sponsor, second is a business manager, and third is a trustee. So all the three entities have different roles to play. The sponsor is nothing but something like a promoter, you can say, in a public limited company or a private limited company, who has skin in the game. Okay, so he gets some kind of financial benefits because of having a holding in the trust, all right? Second, the business manager is responsible for ensuring that operations, day-to-day operations for the trust are running in a proper manner, okay? And the trustee is the one who is having a complete oversight and on the trust and ensuring that everything is run as per the rules of the game, right? So these are the mainly three entities which are there involved in REIT. Which are the players which are listed in India? Currently, the REIT market in India is in a very nascent stage, and we have only three REITs listed. Number one is Embassy Group, number two is Brookfield, and number three is Mindspace. So, what is different between these three REITs or REITs in general is they either have a very different portfolio or their geographic reach is different. Okay, so to give you an example, the Embassy Group has a good portfolio in the southern part of the country, especially Bangalore, and whereas Mindspace has a good portfolio in the western part of the country, especially Mumbai. All right, and plus their client base or their the kind of clients that they service is also different. For example, Embassy specifically targets customers who are from the technology sector, okay, mainly Fortune 500 companies, whereas Mindspace has a different kind of a target segment, and Brookfield has a slightly different target segment. Who regulates these REITs and how do they ensure that investor protection is up to the mark? All right. So SEBI is the entity, Securities Exchange Board of India is the entity which regulates these REITs. All right. And there are two regulations because of which you can see that investor protection is ensured by SEBI. Okay. Number one, SEBI says that whatever is the profit that REIT structure makes in a particular year, it has to distribute at least 90% of the total profits back to the unit holders. Okay. So if REIT is making a profit of, let's say, 100 crores, at least 90 crores has to go back to the unit holders. All right. Regulation number two is that every REIT can have at the most 20% of their total assets in non-income generating assets. Okay. So like I told you, REIT is a structure, they keep creating different properties across the country. All right. And for which they need, they need some kind of a capital work in progress. Okay. So the mandate or the regulation says that REIT cannot have more than 20% of its total assets in non-income generating. Okay, so at least 80% of the assets that REIT has will generate some kind of income for the unit holders. Okay, so minority unit holder like you and I, we can be ensured or we can be assured that we'll keep getting our dividends as promised by the REIT. So who should invest in these REITs? Now, this is a very important question. Okay, REITs as an instrument has properties of fixed income as well as property of equity instruments. Okay, now why do I say that? Number one, it is a fixed income. It is like a fixed income instrument because it gives you kind of an assured return per year or per quarter, okay, which is generally in the range of about 4 to 5%. Okay, so we can say that this is the dividend yield for these REITs. Okay, number two, why I am saying that it is also like an equity instrument is because there is a good potential for having capital appreciation in your unit holdings. Okay, now, what is happening currently is because of the pandemic, the real estate sector and the overall, commercial real estate sector, especially along with the, tourism sector, is in complete shambles. Okay, so there have been lockdown after lockdown. It's almost been more than a year that this is happening. Okay, because of which the outlook for this entire industry, okay, is pessimistic. It's quite a lot of pessimism that has already built into. Okay, and you can see that from the share price chart that I've opened on the screen, you can see that this particular instrument has corrected quite a lot after COVID started. Okay, and we are going to talk about the valuations of these companies. Okay, however, what you need to answer for yourself at this point of time is, do you feel that the portfolio of this company will grow after all this COVID lockdowns are over? Okay, now, the trend of work from home has really caught some steam, all right? And a lot of companies have announced their plans of having a permanent work from home for a significant part of their workforce. Okay. So there is one school of thought which says that this culture is here to stay because internet connectivity has improved and people enjoy work from home more than work from office. It is more productive. There is less traffic on the roads. It leads to higher working time given to the employees instead of traveling in heavy traffic, right? And there is a second school of thought which says that no, this is like a transient phase and it will not be permanent. Okay, so these are two conflicting thoughts that are going on. Okay, of course, like I told you, I'm not going to make any recommendation whether you should invest or not, right? This video is just to bring out the pros and cons of investing in REITs at this point in time, right? However, what you need to answer for yourself is, do you feel that all these restrictions are permanent or they are temporary? And if you feel that these restrictions are temporary and offices will be back, people would love to go back to their offices. For example, a lot of people have reported that they are undergoing some kind of a mental stress because of working from home. Okay, a lot of them they end up overworking and they cannot distinguish between work hours and personal hours. So there are a lot of issues and there is complete uncertainty that's going on right now, and it's difficult to say what kind of reaction we can see after all these lockdown restrictions are over. So some practical thoughts on REITs. As I told you at the start of the video, that REITs as a concept is at a very nascent stage in India. All right, and in US and a few other Western countries, this is quite at an advanced stage. Okay, so does it make sense to invest in these instruments at such a nascent stage? Okay, uh, that's question number one. Question number two is, can we be assured that SEBI will be able to give the investor protection that it is promising? Okay, because let's face the fact that as an industry or as a sector evolves, even the regulations evolve along with the sector. Okay, so today, since there are only 3 REITs in India, we may see that after a few years, after more REITs are listed, the regulations may change for good or may change for bad. We cannot say at this point in time. All right, so this is very one important point to keep into consideration before investing in REITs. Okay, the dividend yield is definitely lucrative, which is about 5%. However, these are the points that are stated you should take into consideration before investing in REITs. So the summary of our discussion is that REITs today are available at a lucrative valuation, plus the 5% dividend yield is definitely mouth-watering. However, the uncertainty because of COVID is just increasing by the day. Every new lockdown is going to have some kind of an anxiety in unit holders of REITs. And we really do not know what will be the reaction after these lockdowns and vaccination drives are over. Plus, REITs are at a very nascent stage in India. So from a regulatory standpoint, we really cannot say how it is going to evolve. However, we can be more or less hopeful that SEBI has, as a regulatory body, has done a fair job in ensuring investor protection in India. So with these thoughts, I leave you to take your decision whether to invest in REITs or not, or if you decide to invest in REITs, then which is the one that you want to go for. So that's all from my end. Thank you for listening to me. And in case you really like and enjoy our videos, do feel free to subscribe to our channel or visit our website or subscribe to a small case. And do not forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.